And I think we have all gone back towards 2015, 2016 where YouTube videos were all clickbait videos and people started calling them out for it. Then they stopped. But now we're back onto TikTok and it's all clickbaity again.
So the best reviewer is always your customer. The customer is the one who can review the best because they might be the one who are eating your food for many years, almost every day. Something goes wrong, if they tell you, then that means something is wrong.
Like, just do research. I think that would really help in making like quality, valuable content.
Informative lah, make it informative.
Is that something that irks you when everyday people who want to make content, they just like whack it, is it?
Yeah, I mean, because I put effort into my content, so I want this kind of, I would follow someone who gives me value. Yeah, instead of telling me things that I can just Google.
Welcome back to another episode of The Usual Place. You're with me, Natasha, and maybe I've just been on the internet too much, but it seems like everybody has a brutally honest review to give of the food that they are eating. And I wanted to find out today if I'm the only one. Today on the couch with me, I have Melvin, and he's a second-generation hawker who sells braised duck and kway chop at Chinatown Complex, right?
Yep.
And you're also the guy who started Hawker United Tapao 2020 during COVID.
Such a long name.
It's okay, we got it. And next to you on the couch, we have Chiara. And Chiara, you're a food and lifestyle content creator with an 20k follower, almost 20k followers on Instagram. And I want to have you on the couch because you also used to write and create content for a local food blog which does listicles and reviews as well.
Yes, correct.
So we'll get into all of it. And next to you on the couch, we have Zhi Wei. And Zhi Wei has been on both sides. So basically, he was a home-based baker for about 5 years. And then you don't do that anymore. And now you do marketing for businesses, which includes food businesses. And that involves you working with some influencers here and there as well. Okay. So the other thing I am interested about Zhi Wei is he just started his own food review account on Instagram. So we'll get into why he decided to start it, okay? So here's this whole conundrum that I have about people doing food reviews. But first I wanted to ask, do you think that there are too many people doing food reviews on social media these days? Melvin?
Yeah, of course. So when I first started, there are only a few so-called food critics, food bloggers, and majority of them are actually really going to helping the business for the hawkers, kopitiam, or even restaurant. But nowadays I saw just too many, especially in TikTok. I saw a lot of I find that they don't really understand about food, don't know about the culture. So when we talk about food, we have to talk about the story also.
Chiara, what do you think?
I think yes and no. I think the good thing about social media is that any Tom, Dick or foodie can be creating content. And even though there's a lot of such food reviews out there right now, it's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that, the food culture is so diverse. It's good to have like voice to cover like different cuisines. But I feel like the bad thing is that there's a lot of such reviews that lack quality, lack value. Yeah.
Zhi Wei?
My take is that I think previously, before TikTok was a thing, there were already food critics out there or food reviewers out there. It's just that you wouldn't know about them unless you followed them. But with the change in the whole marketing scene and the whole algorithms here and there, it allows you to, know about these new creators or these new food reviewers because of the algorithms that have been set in place, which is by TikTok or Instagram as such. So yeah, I would say that anyone can actually become a food reviewer nowadays, but they should know what they're talking about in terms of the particular food that they're talking about.
So do you think this came about where, people want to do food reviews, but it's what you said, right, Chiara, about the lack of quality here. Is it because people don't have time to, dive into it when they create the content? Or they're just not interested they just want to create it for content rather than understanding the business? Or what goes into making the dish?
I'm sure there are many reasons why people start reviewing food. For myself, I'm a foodie and I want every calorie to count. And good things must share, right? So that's where I started. But I mean, I'm sure that there are a lot of people who have the same reasons as well. But I'm also sure that there are people who want to do it just for clout. Yeah, so I think it really stems from your intention, like what kind of value you want to bring to your followers. And I know of many good content creators out there who are very passionate about their work and they really delve deep into, as what Chef said, the food that they're eating. But I also feel that, but I also feel that there are people who like not necessarily know about the food, but they say like, oh, it's my first time trying like chai tao kueh. And, you know, it brings a very novel view towards like a dish that everybody's so used to. Yeah, so I think it could be a good or bad thing depending on their intentions.
As in they're bringing a fresh perspective
Yeah,
in the way that they talk about the food.
correct.
And that may not necessarily be a bad thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Melvin, do you have any thoughts about it? About people who just,
I
come
think
in with their own
there are some who are just wanted to get some traffic to their contents. So, I mean, contents creators, they cannot do the same contents. So they have to be different. So they start to do things that they are very negative. So they start to do negative review, talk bad about the business, the hawkers. I think this is something very bad. Like, no 道德, I say in Mandarin. Like, don't antique like that.
Right. I mean, I think that's an interesting thing that you mentioned, because the reason why I kind of wanted to do this episode was also because a few months ago, and I'm sure like most of you, I mean, if you're in the food industry, you would know that during one of the Ramadan bazaars, right? So this TikToker who, I went to check out his account, and then he does his concept is like, honest, brutally honest reviews, right? And so he gets into this spat with this stall owner, right, over a dish that he thinks it's an oversell. And I see both sides to it. So Melvin, you are on the side of the, hawkers or business owners, right? Where, a bad review doesn't help a business, right?
Brutally honest, you can see that they actually do cooperate with business owner. So that means that they are actually some people who paid them for the review. So how honest can it be if people are paying you for the review? Cannot be when people pay you, you go and hunt down them, say that their food tastes lousy, their service lousy. You won't do that. Of course, when you take people money, you have to say good thing.
Right.
And good words. So this actually very confused people. You say you are honest, but then you do cooperation with people taking money, then you have to say the right thing. Then I don't think it's that honest for me. Sorry, I'm very honest. So
I think there's levels to it, right? Because, okay, so there's a level of people who do this for a living. So they actually collaborate with, so they get paid to write about certain places, right? And then there's also people who get free food in exchange for it. But there's also a group of people who just make this content on their own. Like I'm just a regular Joe, and I just go out and I eat something, and I say, hey, this is like a 2 out of 5. But my issue is the clarity or the level that they dive into it, right? So Chiara, the way you kind of seem to know what I'm talking about.
It could be very surface sometimes.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
I think in terms of the kind of reviewers, whether they're putting out quality content or not, I think it's also from a standpoint of whether they are actually full-time creators. Are they doing this for a living, or is this part-time? Because when it's a full-time creators aspect of things, right? Yes, I want to review as many food places as possible. But what if my time limits me? I'm trying to do this for a living, right? And there are only so many places that would pay me. So I think the level of research that they would do for the specific food, right, might also be limited because of that urge to like survive, or this is a creator economy. You really gotta like hustle to get your name out there. Just gotta keep doing more and more and more content. I think that also causes them to limit their amount of research done on that specific food, and that also results in poorer quality reviews.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chiara?
Yeah, I think I want to comment on like the gun. What's his IG gun buttocks?
Yes, buttock, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so I want to comment on that specific video.
Yeah.
So I don't think he did anything wrong per se. I think he's just being I think the way he edited his video, it seems like something he would rant to a friend. Like, oh my gosh, it's 1 out of 10 because it's not even smoky in terms of flavor. It's just smoky because there is dry ice. So it's something that you can hear a friend ranting to you too.
Yeah.
But the problem is that now it's on like a TikTok platform. So everybody and anybody can see that. And I feel like other than ethics, you also need to follow some sort of guideline when you want to do content because the businesses you're talking about is actually a livelihood, someone's livelihood. Yeah. So I feel like if you want to do content, you can be a bit more sensitive while still being brutally honest at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Melvin, I wanted to ask you because you champion, as in you really come forth and, protect. You're very protective of the hawker scene, right? Have you gotten feedback from other hawkers about, people coming to say that I want to review it or, have they had to deal with bad reviews? Have they told you, has any of your hawker friends told you, oh, I got like people on TikTok and I didn't even know that they were reviewing, they came to my stall for a review. Have you ever heard that before?
I have actually quite a lot. Personally, me, myself, I encountered this before. So there this very, very famous platform group, but now gone already. Gone already. Initially, when they approached me, they actually emailed me and contacted me. So they give me a price list of their media marketing. So however, I see that I don't really need that. So I actually rejected them. So a few months ago, I actually forgot that I rejected them and they contact me again and say they want to come my store and do a shop. So I'm okay with that. But then after that, they are giving me a very bad review. So that is why just I mentioned that if you are taking someone money, you are actually saying very good things. But today I never give you I never engage you, then you are actually putting a very, very bad and negative review on me. I don't think it's very fair.
The second time they reached out, they didn't ask for payment?
Yeah. So I was thinking that, they wanted to write something for me, okay. But this time, good,
I
was
see.
there. But then,
Bad reviews. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's one reason why I don't like, because I encountered before. Business is very hard.
Yeah. Can understand, especially with the rising cost, right? Of everybody's just trying to make a living here, right? So I think, going back to that incident with the food reviewer on TikTok and the business, right? Because they got into a spat. And one of the issues that came out was if you eat bad food or if you eat food that you don't like, right? Or you find an issue with the establishment, my take is, why not tell them? I mean, what do you guys feel about it? My take is either don't eat that anymore, and then you just tell your friends, don't need to put it on social media, or tell them, like have a discussion with them about it. I mean, what do you guys feel about it?
I wouldn't dare to tell the chef, hey, I think your food is bad.
No, actually, I send the same thought as you.
Yeah.
So I will just, they are doing business, so we give them the honest feedback. It's up to them if they want to do something on their business, they want to change or anything. But then another thing is, taste can be very subjective. Everybody got different taste bud.
Yeah.
You see some review because they don't like spicy and they can say that, oh, this food is very spicy, 1 upon 10. But hell, you don't take spicy, then you give them a bad rating. So review is really, really very taste subjective. Not everybody saying the same taste bud.
Right. Chiara, you were afraid of a chef?
Yeah, if they ask, then I would say. But if they don't, I would just walk away. But something that I won't do is to maybe post like a negative review on it. So personally, if I try something bad, I wouldn't even post about it. Yeah.
So you've never gotten a cease and desist letter?
Thankfully, no. And I hope I will never.
It shocked me. I was like, are we in this state where we need to be sending lawyers letters to reviewers for people having an opinion, really? It was shocking to me, although I can see both sides. So Zhi Wei, what do you think?
I think
what would you do?
In that guy's perspective, right, he was just putting out a gimmick, right? The dry ice thing. where much bigger brands have also done the same. It's just that in this case, it's really his livelihood. He is like a solopreneur or an entrepreneur himself, right? But I feel that if I were to try a food from a certain place that tastes subpar, I would still do a review about it, but I would say why, right? Like I think it's very important to say why. Like let's just say I try kway chap. Why didn't I like it, right? For me, maybe it's because the kway was too soft. Maybe it's already mushy. Is it because the chef left it out for too long, or did I eat it late? You know, that kind of thing. So like I think really got to put things into perspective before you give certain reviews. Because as also to what Chef mentioned, it's very subjective. Yeah.
Yeah. I think to add on that, when it's like horribly bad, I wouldn't do a review on it because like I wouldn't want to affect someone's business. But at the same time, if it's horribly bad, I would tell the chef. But if it's like an item on a menu that I didn't like out of 5 items, then I would still keep it in. But as what Zhi Wei said, I would preface like, oh, why didn't I like this dish? Like, oh, maybe it's too spicy. Then, but it's okay if you like spice, you might enjoy this.
Something like that.
Yeah, just like give some context, explain why.
I think it also goes back to language, right? Because I think we were chatting off screen earlier, and a lot of people use superlatives when they talk about the food and give it a rating. So they will say this is the best steak, or this is the best burger, or it's the most delicious, or the worst. Yeah, because that's very clickbaity in a sense.
I think it's to do with ethics, right? Like, you know, when you want to really hard sell this product, why? Is it because you're paid, or is it because you truly like it? And if you truly like it, just stand by your words lah. Taste is very subjective, but you can also state your subjective point and stay objective at the same time. Yeah, like just like over-explain, I feel that's safer, right? Than just to say, oh, 1 out of 10, it sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, and so let's talk a little bit about the ethics or the guidelines that you guys use when it comes to, you know, talking about food establishments. Zhi Wei, is there guidelines that you hold yourself to, or the people who review for your new IG platform? Like, are there certain things that they must or must not do?
I think for us, the guidelines that we have currently established are just guidelines to the certain kind of hooks that we use, right? Superlatives like best places or whatever, we don't really use those. But I think it's more of in a direction towards like, if you are someone that loves mala, you should try this place, something like that. And I think we have all gone back towards 2015, 2016, where YouTube videos were all clickbait videos and people started calling them out for it.
Yeah.
Then they stopped. But now we're back onto TikTok and it's all clickbaity again because everyone is struggling for attention. Yeah. So like in terms of marketing, this is essentially just day trading attention. Yeah. So.
And Chiara, you've got like how long have you been doing this? 5 years already?
Like
Has it been?
on my own?
No, in total, like
In
looking
total?
at food. Like how long have
6-7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were with a platform and now you're on your own. You do this on your own. So across your 6-7 year career dealing with food, are there certain guidelines that you hold yourself to? Like, are there certain things that you don't do when it comes to talking about food establishments or reviewing them?
Okay, I think when I do content, I just want to make sure that it has some sort of value. So be it from the restaurant's point of view or for my followers' point of view, I'll just highlight things that are important, and like, you know, it's not just food. I talk about the price, the ambiance, the service as well. So to me, value is the most important. And if we're talking about paid stuff, I think ethics would be also very important. Like, if you don't like this, don't sell it.
What do you mean?
If you don't like this food, if you don't like this brand, or you've eaten at this restaurant before and they reached out to you to do a paid collab, don't do it if you don't like it. Yeah, it's just simple as that. And if you love it, just say you love it. Like, don't need to oversell.
Do you know people who do it even though they don't like it?
No comments.
Okay, on the flip side, Melvin, you as a hawker running a food business, how do you deal with reviews? Because I actually did go out and check out your store on Google Review, and you actually do comment, you reply to people who actually leave you a 1-star review, right? It's like, what is your take on how businesses should handle reviews?
I mean, I belong to the more straightforward one. I don't give a damn. If you feel like, I offended you, then just BA lah. But then when you see me comment bad against them, mostly they are those fake and clone account lah. So
How do you tell? How do you tell they are fake accounts?
I go and search on them, then I go and search their Google account. They actually go and give a lot of people 1 star. Then 5 of the account you can see that on the same place.
So you actually do a whole CSI investigation?
Yeah. I do CSI very good on it. So,
But why do you do that? Why do you do that? Why not just leave the 1 star and just chalk it up to a
no,
bad day?
I mean, it's a real account. Then okay lah. I don't really go and counter bad because I understand that, as I said, this is very subjective one lah. There are people who don't like our service. Maybe that they feel that they wanted us something more and we cannot give. Then they are not willing to pay. So that they will bring it into the food taste review also. The 1.10 is actually your service, but they will say that, oh, your food is very bad.
Right. So you stand by your food quality and everything else is...
Yeah. Because service I think is depends. You respect people, then people respect you lah. Of course, when you ask for something which is quite ridiculous one, for a packet of duck rice, you want a big packet of chili sauce, then don't cannot lah. Actually, we sell lah. Then sometimes we tell the customer, you want to buy or not? Wow, but buy one lah. You bad review already, 1 star.
Actually, I've heard of people who write false reviews on their competitors' Google platform. Yeah, just to bring a brand down. So not everything you see online is real.
That's a good
In
point.
fact, yesterday I just received a 1-star review out of nowhere. Okay, I'm not going to name him, but like I went to check his profile. He has done 700 reviews, and I checked. Everything is just 1 star, and it's all food. And then his review is on my marketing agency. I'm like, where did you come from? So of course, like whether do we reply or not? I think service recovery, right? So I just reply. I say like, I do not know where we have encountered before. I don't think we have spoken, but if this is like by an accident, could you please revise this and make it right lah, But I mean, like no replies till now. But officially now we have 1-star review.
What did he write in that 1-star
Just
review?
1 star.
But he didn't say why.
Yeah, so he can just destroy your brand just like that. Because now when you Google Future Creatives, and it's going to become 1 star.
that 1
Because we
star.
don't really ask clients to review us.
Right.
So essentially he's the only reviewer.
Oh, that's so random.
Yeah, so I'm like, huh? Where did this come from?
Right, and he only reviews food as well.
Yeah, I saw his recent ones, like 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. I'm like, oh, this guy is a hater.
Yeah.
This guy's a hater.
They are going to be out there.
Yeah, I think like they're everywhere. They're just everywhere.
Okay. But you are the brave one who is going into the world of food reviews. So I need to ask you, firstly, don't you think you have a lot of competition?
Yes and no at the same time. Like,
Okay.
I feel like they are competitors, but I don't see them that way because nowadays with like with the TikTok algorithm, right? I think it's very much based off of what we are putting out and how we are going to be capturing people's attention, right? So if people like us, TikTok will reward us. It's as simple as that. Like if we are retaining people's attention, then TikTok will reward us. So I do not think that they are competitors, but they are just creators trying to create. Yeah, essentially. So as long as our videos are entertaining, then we we should do well. But if our videos are not entertaining enough, then we're just not good enough.
Okay. So
Yeah,
my second question is, how do you plan to stand out from the crowd lah?
I think it's just about how we script the videos. There'll be a lot of A/B testing here and there, how
Okay.
the hooks are working and how the video is being delivered. But ultimately, we will keep revising these guidelines till we find that so-called secret sauce or that sweet spot. Yeah.
Okay.
And the direction that we're going in is all honest reviews. So, for example, if we're getting someone to try ramen, this person better love Japanese food. I'm not going to get someone that loves Western food to go and try ramen.
Right.
Yeah, which is what is happening a lot nowadays with all the part-time creators or
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm getting
Because they're trying everything, or they just see something and then they're like, okay, let me create content about this place today, right?
yes, correct.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not trying to say anything bad about them, but if they are not someone that tries Japanese food on a regular basis, just say it, just put it out there. At least people know of your opinion and where you are coming from, right? Oh, I usually try Chinese food, but today I'm trying this ramen place to see if I like it. That's a good perspective to go into. But if I just went in and say, oh, this ramen place was not very good. The sauce, the soup was too salty or blah blah blah. But that then gives no context to the whole review. Yeah.
Can you like give me 2 or 3 qualities of what makes a good food reviewer for you? Be it like a traditional food reviewer or someone on social media today, what is that quality you're looking for in that kind of content? Melvin?
So I actually looking towards food critic like KFC Dr. Destite, Miss Tanjia.
So these are the OGs.
Yeah, you can see that the I so-called pioneer one, when they review food, they are actually helping the hawkers. They're really helping them. And then when they review, they actually get very good business one. And by the same time, when something is not good, they will actually go and tell the hawkers, and they will do some change. Because I'm one of them, I started taking over my private store in 2014. So it's typically unknown to a lot of people. So KFC come, Leslie Tay come, Miss Tanjia come, and they will give me very valuable feedback. Like,
What did they say?
Like the presentation and not to be too salty, something like that. So we actually get feedback from customers. So the best reviewer is always your customer. Your customer is the one who can review the best, because they might be the one who are eating your food for many years, almost every day. Something goes wrong, if they tell you, then that means something is wrong.
You have customers who eat kway chap every day.
Almost, we don't say every day. Almost.
I would.
I got customer today eat duck rice, tomorrow duck noodles, then kway chap, they change because I sell a lot of pattern one.
Okay. Yeah, you have options so they can come by every day. Okay. Chiara, for you, what makes a good food reviewer?
I think maybe I'll say what makes a bad food reviewer.
Sure.
I think there are a lot of creators out there who just mainly cover, what's on the menu? Oh, there's this, there's that, there's that, that's it. And I think that's not enough info. Like, oh no, there's this. What do you like about this? What do you not like about this? Yeah, so go in depth. Talk more than just like what's on the menu.
Oh, okay. So you're not really into those people who just do a recommendation, like just go here. Okay.
Yeah, because why should I go there? What's good? What's bad? Tell me.
Because the video looks nice.
It's a plus point if they even went inside the kitchen to talk about like 72-hour boiled soup or something like that. Things like that would change.
Oh, so is that what makes you a good food? What makes a good food reviewer?
No, I'll say it's like
even a good food recommendation.
Everyone's giving recommendations, right? So what's my plus point here that you're gonna give me that makes me want to try this food, right? Everyone's gonna say this soup is nice, but like, why is it nice? Like, did you go inside and the chef actually recommended, showed you what he's doing, like the mise en place, the preparation process? That'll be like a plus point.
You know, I thought about this and then I was like, does this now create another problem for
chefs?
Yeah, for chefs or dining establishments.
Cleanliness of the kitchen.
No, like people coming up to you and like saying, hey, can I video your process? Like, I don't know, do you find a lot of people coming up to you and say, can I video you now? And then what if like you're shy and then you're like, no need, thanks.
No, I actually quite open because I in contact with some, especially schools when they got project, I will actually support one. I will actually support students who come to my store and they do some excursion or projects. They want to show. I just let them be because I'm more frequent on the camera so okay my skin is thicker so that one no issue
So in this day and age, you know, hawkers and people who are in food need to, you know, have thick skin.
I even encourage my fellow hawkers to do their own content creators, create your own video, do something fun.
And the thing is,
with your life. Just do it. Have some fun, explore it. So you can see that there are quite a lot of hawkers, especially young hawkers. They actually their own content creators in their in this type of new platform like TikTok.
Yeah, so sorry, going back to what Zhi Wei said earlier about, you know, getting into the kitchen, or actually, I think baseline they should just ask about the backstory behind the restaurant or the cafe, or like, is that something you prefer, like getting to know?
I think sharing about where the like how the brand was built is one thing, but showing the amount of hard work that goes into preparing food is another, because it really is a lot of hard work. Can you imagine you spend like your whole day preparing this food, and then your first customer of the day, maybe he's having a bad mood, he gives you a bad review. You're like, it's so tough. It's actually so tough. Yeah.
I feel like that came from a personal
No, okay. Luckily for me, I never received a bad review before.
Right.
Like from the pastry side of things, most of the time people ask, can I have this less sweet or whatever? What is a flavor that's not that sweet? I'll just recommend like Earl Grey lavender because it's very light, very flowery, right? Then if they say, oh, I want the cake to be less, I want it to be more spongy, then I'll use like cake flour instead of plain flour, something like that. So I just try to give as much customizations as I can. Yeah, but I mean, it's different for a normal everyday hawker because their menu is set in stone. Yeah.
For example, if you talk about char kway teow lah, so a lot of people say char kway teow is inconsistent. But you can imagine every day that uncle have to fight 200, 300 plates. No? Plate by plate, no? How to be consistent. So I say you go and simulate, you go and go. There's no way to be consistent as long as it's not too
Not too off the charts.
Then that one okay lah.
Actually,
But sometimes there are reviewers who eat only one time, then they go and condemn you.
Yeah.
You should go and eat a lot of times, then you go and think of, is it able to be consistent or not? We have to think of that. Human beings are not robots. Robots sometimes also will break down.
yeah. I think set your expectations right. If you're going to review a hawker food, then it might not be as consistent as like a fine dining restaurant.
Correct.
Yeah, like fine dining restaurant, you can ask for more chili, but maybe hawker, every dollar of chili is $1 to the chef, to the uncle. Yeah. And I think to add on to a quality review, what you said, like going into the kitchen to ask like a willing uncle, auntie at the hawker store, like more info on the food that they've prepared since like 6 a.m. in the morning. Like they've been boiling it for 10 hours, etc. And also doing research beforehand. Like for example, this place just opened in Singapore and it's exactly like the viral Japanese restaurant in Tokyo. So like make a comparison between the two. Like why should people go down here to eat? Like just do research. Yeah, I think that would really help in making like quality, valuable content.
Informative lah. Make it informative.
Is that something that irks you when, people, everyday people who want to make content, they just like whack it, is it?
Yeah, I mean, because I put effort into my content, so I want this kind of, I would follow someone who gives me value. Yeah, instead of telling me things that I can just Google. Yeah.
On that note, what is your creation process like? Like your research process like?
So speaking on both like a formal publication kind of review and like a personal review, I would Google beforehand, check their reviews also and like cross-check what other people would say about this place and also click on their own website, click on about and know more about like the brand or the story. And then just chat with the chefs if I can. But I think most of the time the chef's quite shy and I'm an extrovert. So I can tell if they don't want to answer any more questions, I'll just stop.
Okay.
But
and sometimes the kitchen is a little bit messy. It's not like it's not unhygienic, but it's just messy. It's not very pretty. So most of the times they would say no. Like if there's flour on the table, why would they want you to come in and film, right? Yeah, something like that. Then for them to clean it up is like a whole another process. So that's why most of the time they'll say no. So
correct.
So we're talking about people who create content, but what about the people like me who consume these videos willingly or unwillingly sometimes? Are there certain things that we should look out for when it comes to someone creating a food review? Like this person is just, not sincere about the content, or this person really knows their stuff. Is that something that we can look out for?
I think cross-checking like their previous videos. What kind of, how do they talk? Like if they are very brutally honest, if they give if they give like multiple 1.10s and you can tell it's just because there's a minor flaw, then, don't take this person's words too seriously, but just take it as a hint, like, okay, manage your expectations a little. And also cross-check Google reviews and other bloggers. What did they say about this restaurant? And to see whether this content creator is credible or not. Yeah.
Zhi Wei?
Also, like to build off on her point, I will also do the same. So if a certain TikTok video blew up, which means that many people have went there to try, right? You've seen our Singaporean friends all queuing behind her, right? But that means also there's more people to take reference from, right? So when you look into Google reviews, then you'll start to see like did it really do that well or not? Because it trended because of attention, right, on TikTok. But when everyone goes there, now it's on Google. It's like a free platform now for people to just comment whatever they want. Yeah, so if it's still good, then I'll go from a consumer standpoint.
Okay. Melvin, will you ever make peace with reviewers?
I have actually, I know quite a number of them. But the only people that I don't like is that you don't give me the feeling that you are actually trying to influence people to go and boycott the business. Don't go and try. Wow, this one very lousy. We don't do that. Even that, I believe that every business, they got a story behind. They got a family to feed. So don't do that. If you don't like it, then don't just for the sake of getting traffic to your own content, then you actually demoralize them and condemn them, and they will be forced to stop their business. It's only very bad. By the way, I think if there are reviewers who review hawkers, I think there should be hawkers who review the reviewers also. So this
Like a
reviewer,
Glassdoor.
5.5, he very good, he helped me a lot. I got very good business. Wow, this one, he never can eat, but then he write back about me, say nasty thing, I give you 1.5. We can review them back also, okay?
Okay.
Honestly, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think Singapore is really small. So, I mean, like, you have friends who are also business owners, right? You can tell each other, like, oh, I don't trust this person, I trust this person. So, like, be careful what you put online.
Yeah.
I think ethics is, like, the simplest way to go. Honestly, the best policy lah. Yeah.
No, thank you for sharing your thoughts with me today. Tell me what you think about what makes a food influencer's reviews legit for you. You can just pop them into the comment section below. Now, if you want to get fresh episodes of The Usual Place, you can like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell below, and you'll get served that fresh content. Now, if you want to hear the audio version of this episode, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on the ST app. I'll see you once again at The Usual Place.